Hi guys, welcome to our channel. So we are back with our placement interview experience series, mechanical edition. Today's company is Tetra Pak. You must have heard the name.
Guys, we also have our Telegram channel. The link will be in the description box below. All the latest updates for jobs, vlogs, and our placement interview series will be on that channel first. So you can join the group so that you get notified first. Also, we have a placement interview series form. It's also in the description box below. If anyone is interested in giving interview experience on our channel, he or she can fill up the form. We will contact him or her through their handles. And let's move on to the recruitment process.
Okay, so coming to the recruitment process, 3 profiles were offered. First was the WCM, World Class Manufacturing Engineer, next the Automation Engineer and the Process Engineer. The CTC is as mentioned. Coming to the eligibility criteria, the branches eligible were MEC, ENTC and Instrumentation and Control. In HSC and SSC, you should be having 60% and above, and your BTech engineering, you should be having CGPA of 7 and above with no live backlogs. Coming to the shortlisting, the initial filtering was done based on the resume, and now we'll move on to the recruitment process.
Since you guys will be giving CAT in the next month, most of you might have completed your preparation and want to check where you stand out in the crowd. For you guys, Unacademy has brought all India full-length mock test as per the new CAT pattern, which will help you to check your performance and also to compare your weakness and the part of syllabus where you need to prepare just before CAT. After the test, you will be having live in-depth analysis session by experts, accurate and complete test performance report, strategy sessions with top percentilers, and you will be able to benchmark yourself against CAT aspirant across all over India. And after that also you will be getting high quality video solutions for every questions. So this is the dates where the next upcoming CAT mock test will be happening. So before enrolling, just use our code BSW10 and then enroll for the test. Coming to the recruitment process, there were several steps, and each step was an elimination round. The first, after shortlisting, you have to give a recorded video interview. It was on HireView platform. Second, if you clear the recorded video interview round, you will be given a link for online test, that is aptitude test. Platform was HCL. Then after shortlisting in that online test, you will be giving a technical interview. Along with that, the HR interview. And after that, you will be having a case study round. Once you clear the case study round, you will be having the interview with the plant director, and this will be the last interview. All this process will be discussed in very much detail with our guest today.
So hi guys, today we have with us Sakshi, who has recently cracked the on-campus recruitment process for Tetra Pak for the job profile of a WCM engineer. Welcome to our channel, Sakshi.
Thank you, Sanchita. Thank you, Devesh.
Guys, do note that even Sakshi has her own YouTube channel. So the link to her channel will be in the description box below. So do check that out as well. But we still would like if you could give a little introduction about you.
Okay. So as they introduced, my name is Sakshi and I'm working for Tetra Pak India. I'm from Pune. I've always been from here, schooling, college, everything. So true Punekar at heart. And whenever someone now asks me ki introduction though, so I have this fixed lines and sentences to give. But barring that, I've done my mechanical engineering from MIT. And I also have my own YouTube channel, which as a hobby I'm pursuing. So this way.
Okay, then let's move to the interview processes then. Let's get started with the shortlisting round. So how things went from till apti.
Okay. So first of all, if you clear all the criteria that they require, so then you have to register on their portal. They send you a link. They'll first shortlist all the resume based on what they'll get from the college, and then they will send you a personal link on your email ID. उसमें से shortlist करके, and then on their portal you have to apply for the job profile. You can apply for only one profile. I think there were 3 job profiles. One was WCM engineer, that is world-class manufacturing engineer. One was automation, and one was process. So for mechanical engineering, we were only eligible for WCM because the other job profiles required some kind of experience in instrumentation and electronics. So as a mechanical engineer, only one profile, that was WCM. Then after that, I think they will again check your resume, whether you fit the profile that you have applied for. And if you don't, and if they think you are suitable in some other profile, then they will send you a mail again saying that we would want to continue with the process under this profile for you, as we think that you would be more suitable there. Then after that, they have this video interview, recorded video interview, where based on which happens on HireView platform. I think it's a third-party platform. And the HR there asks you 5 questions. 2 of them are HR questions, like tell me about yourself and how would you handle a situation. I think if I remember it right, one of the questions was how would you handle a disappointed customer, and then tell me about yourself. And the other 3 are basic technical questions, like they'll give you diagrams of various components and will tell you to identify them. They can be different valves and all. As I come from mechanical engineering, so mechanical components were there. And then some safety charts, and they'll tell you to identify what hazards you can see there. What are the malpractices going on? So that is the first round of interview, which is recorded. Then after that,
I have a few questions on this round actually.
Yes.
So since you said that this is a recorded video interview round, so the questions might be popping up on the screen, and you have a limited amount of time that you need to read and then spontaneously answer, right?
Yes. I think there is about 30 seconds to 1 minute they give you to prepare your answer, and I think 1.5 minutes to answer the question.
Okay.
And there are also, for this particular interview, there are also a number of attempts. Like you can give your answer twice. Like each question you can answer twice. So if you feel you're not satisfied with the first answer, then you can take another attempt for the same question.
Okay,
oh, that's
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we can move on to the next round.
Next round.
Yeah. So after that, the next round was an online test. I wouldn't call it aptitude test because there was no English, no logical reasoning, and technical questions were also not there. It was basically just, it was a logical interview where you had to basically OR based questions, operations research karke. We have this subject in mechanical engineering where there are questions based on scheduling, planning, and optimization, which is the best possible pattern to get a job done. And then there was data interpretation questions. There were 2 sections. One was the logical one, which was OR based, and second was data interpretation, where they gave us huge sets of data, like profits or sales and everything, and we had to interpret them and give them answers. But this particular test was extremely time based. We only had around 30 to 40 seconds to answer every question, like read it and answer it. And I think there were very less questions. There were only 20 questions, including both of the sections. So the data interpretation was particularly challenging because you get very less time to interpret a lot of data and then calculate and give an answer.
So it's not an MCQ round?
Some of the questions are MCQ. Some of them are, you have to type, wherein you have to type the answer and they tell you to round it up to whatever decimal points. And then some of them were rearrangement and those pattern questions and everything. But as far as technical is based, which is usually a part of any aptitude that is based on your core stream, that is not a part of the test or the interview as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and
sorry, not interview, the recorded interview, I mean, not the actual one.
And even this test is all oriented towards operation research, as you mentioned, and not any other.
For my job profile. the video interview, recorded interview, as well as the test varies according to the job profile. For WCM engineer, it was like this.
Okay.
And both of them were knockout rounds, like elimination steps.
So we can move to now interview rounds.
Okay.
What all questions you were asked and how did you tackle it?
The first interview was both technical as well as HR questions. So if I would have gotten selected at that point of time, the person who would be my line manager was taking my interview and the HR handling the process. So it started with a technical interview. It was not very deep, like the technical questions were not deep, but they were basic, and all the subjects ka basics they covered very well. Now, because it was a production profile, because I would have been working in a shop floor, so mainly they gave me drawings to read, or they gave me they had some mechanical components with them. So they showed it to me from all angles, and then told me to draw different views, like different views from different projections, like we have in engineering graphics, like that. Then they always start by asking you what is your favorite question. Like any interview, favorite subject. Any interview, this is the standard procedure. And then depending on how you answer each question, they will deep dive in that topic slowly. So my favorite questions were subjects were manufacturing processes, operations, industrial engineering, and all. So uske basics, like they asked me what are the types of welding in manufacturing processes. Then when I listed them down, what is the difference? What current is more suitable for this thickness weld? Or what are the various welding defects? MQC, that is metrology and quality control based questions. What are the different manufacturing processes? Again, they had mechanical components and they used to show it to me, and then they used to ask in what all processes can be used to manufacture a component of this shape and these dimensions. So we had to list them out. What are the latest technologies that are going on in terms of manufacturing? So all these questions, they did not go very much in depth with everything, but they wanted to know, what I felt was they wanted to know whether I know the basics of everything, the crux of everything. And this was the technical interview. And for the HR interview, because we had our interview in a pandemic, so the questions were, what did you learn? What did this pandemic teach you? Okay. Everybody's way of living has changed. So what are the things that you had to unlearn during this pandemic in order to survive? Then those very common questions like, tell us a time when you had to face a failure and how did you deal with it? What are your hobbies? How did you cultivate them? This was something that was new, that they asked me, how did you cultivate that hobby, or what made you pursue it? So these questions.
And the technical and HR happened first before your case study?
Yes. So if I clear the first interview, then only I go to the case study. All of the steps that I told you, every one of them is an elimination round.
I guess then we can discuss the case study round. Yeah.
Okay. So the case study round, because again, my profile was WCM and it is a production center. So my case study was a production-based case study where I think I had to plan a certain activity. I was given the number of hours that I should utilize, the number of people who were going to be involved, the number of hours each person was assigned, the number of units I had to deliver. So there was, I think, it was a big matrix. It was almost 18 by 10 matrix, which was on their screen. So I had to fill each and every cell of that matrix with a number, depending. I had to schedule it. Again, it was a very OR and production related case study. And that is because of the profile, that is how the case study would also be in future. It will change every year, but it was going to be a production based case study. Then they gave me 10 minutes to read. It was a, I think, 3-page long case study. So 10 minutes to read, 15 minutes to solve it. And then I had to solve it on a paper, click a picture, and then share my screen. And then another 10 minutes to present it. Like I had to clear what is the objective, what I have to conclude, what approach I used for the case study, what were my results, in a very clear manner. I couldn't say that, okay, these, I think this can be there and this cannot be there. Basically, at the end of the day, I had to conclude whether or not I can schedule these many units in these many hours. So it was a yes or no answer conclusion. So 10 minutes to present that, and then 10 minutes of question answer based on the solution that I have given.
And how exactly is this conducted? Like, so first you join the meeting and then they'll show you this screen with the problem statement, and then you like exit it and you're given time to solve it, or are you in the meeting and then you're while solving you're supposed to explain whatever you're thinking and how you're solving it? Is it something like that?
No. Of course, first I join the meeting. They give me time to read it, so I tell them scroll as in how I finish reading a page, and then the main page on which the case study and the matrix is given, that is displayed on the screen. I have to keep my screen on. I have to also tilt my laptop's camera in a way that they can see what I'm doing, so that there is no scope of cheating there. And then once the time is up, I click a picture of it. I either mail it to them, or I mail it to myself, download it on my laptop, share my screen, and then while I'm presenting it, that time I have to explain my whole approach. While I'm solving it, I just have to solve it. There is no need to speak or explain what I am thinking. So basically, yes, the approach matters the most. Even if you don't get a solid answer, if your approach is correct, and maybe because of the time crunch, and now with everything being online, there are a lot of variables. So they will only ask you questions on why did you think you could solve it in this way, or if they think there is something better, they will also ask you, don't you think this way could have been better?
So
And then what happened was that a few of my colleagues, my now colleagues, they said that even if we couldn't solve the case study completely, but our approach was right, they used to tell us, okay, now solve it in front of us. Now you know, right, how you want to proceed. So let's, take another 5 minutes and solve it in front of us on the screen, like use the annotation and then solve it.
So I guess we can move to the last round, that is interview with the plant director. It's, I guess, common in mechanical to have a talk with a director.
Yes. A lot of companies do that. So the interview with the plant director is an extremely informal interview. No technical questions asked at all. And this was just not for me with me, but my colleagues also had the same thing to say. It is basically they want to know what kind of a person you are. Because as far as Tetra Pak is concerned, they believe that technical skills can be developed over time. But the attitude of a 22 or 21-year-old person cannot be molded after a certain age. So they want to see whether, your attitude fits the organization, how confident you are, how bold you are, because we have to work in a production environment, we need to have a strong command over what we say, what we do, and we have to be extremely confident about it. So they basically just want to judge your personality and see whether you're the right fit. But there are a few critical questions that they will ask you. Like, for example, what are your future plans? So nobody asked this to me in the earlier round of interviews, but the plant director asked me this. Like he saw my resume and he was like, I don't think you I don't see any way that you wouldn't want to go for further education after engineering. So it shouldn't so happen that we take you in, we invest in you, and then after a year you leave us, because we do invest a lot in our FTPs. They don't call us GETs, they call us FTPs, that is Future Talent Program. There's this program. So those questions you have to answer very well, like what are your future plans? Because any company wants you to stay with them for at least a minimum time, so that after investing in you, they get the return backs, and then later on you are free to proceed with your career, however. So the questions like, what are your future plans? What are your plans for further education? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? These are some critical questions you have to answer very thoughtfully if you want the job.
So, and this is the last round, right?
This is the last round, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think 3rd of March ko profile the application for the profile you are interested in, that was around 3rd or 4th of March, so first week of March. Then after that, in the first week of April, almost, or last week of March, I had my recorded video interview. Then immediately in 2 days, I had the online test. And then in another week, that you can say mid-April was the first interview, that was the technical interview. And after that, in another week itself was the case study round. But unfortunately for me, what happened was on the day of my case study round, both the HR as well as my now line manager, they caught COVID. So my interview with the plant director and everything got shifted around ahead for about 20 days. So it was in the last or in the 3rd week of May that my interview with the plant director happened. And then May end or between May end and June 1st week, I got the confirmation. And then the factory tour happened.
And what about the time they took to like get back to you after each round, the results?
Once, so it took quite a long time between the resume shortlisting and the recorded interview.
Okay.
But it took around 18 days, I think 15 to 18 days between that. But after once the recorded interview got done, then I got mails immediately for the next round, specifying the date and time. Only after the case study, again, there was a gap of 20 days because of obvious reasons. They caught COVID and they were all on leave. So after that, it took another 20 days. But otherwise, when things were good and all right, I almost immediately got the response. For example, after my first interview, it happened at around 11 a.m. And by 3 a.m., I had the email for the next interview, which was in 4 or 5 days.
So you might be currently working, right, at the company?
Yes.
So what is your profile exactly does, like what you have to do?
Okay, so I under WCM engineer, I was then finally given a post called production engineer. So we here at Chakan, I am a part of the PSC division, that is process solutions and equipment. So we manufacture equipments for dairy and various F&B industries, FMCG industries. So my job here is that I have to optimize all the operations that go on the shop floor in terms of time and then eventually as for cost saving. So optimizing all the lines, optimizing all the processes, calculating losses in terms of time and wastage of any man and machine movement. Looking into capex also, like what machinery can we update or buy or anything that will increase the percentage efficiency of the entire production center. Any new development projects that are there and all that. Basically, do everything and anything to increase the efficiency and optimize the processes of the production center.
And how has your experience been so far working?
Oh, it is like I have to admit that when it came to working in a corporate, we all have some preconceived notions, right? Because of social media and everything. But it was completely opposite for me. Because Tetra Pak as a company is an extremely informal organization in respect to everything. So there are no barriers as such or toll gates as such that we have to go through to communicate or to do a certain type of work. So that is one good thing. Another good thing is that we don't work under anything or we don't have a training period as such. They do not believe in classroom trainings or anything. Since my second day itself, I got a project, and they were very clear about their objective that we'll give you a project, we'll give you all the support that you need, but you have to learn while doing the work. We don't want to make you sit in front of the laptop and tell you, "Acha, you learn this and then you apply it." So each and every fresher who joins the company, they get to lead their own individual projects and multiple projects at one time. They don't have to work under someone or assist someone as such. So I can say I was very fortunate in that terms. It's been 2 months now, and I'm enjoying. Like, that is all I can say.
So, any tips for our juniors? The important subjects that you need to prepare, or projects you should do before applying in Tetra Pak?
Projects. I don't think you need to do any specific projects, because they will not recruit you based on the project that you have done. At least Tetra Pak. All they want to see is what all have you done and how sincerely you have done that. Because a lot of time people write things on their resume which they can't answer questions about. So even in the technical interview, I forgot to mention, they start by telling me that, okay, run us through your resume and touch each point that you've written on it. And any point they find interesting, they will ask you questions about it. And they are very experienced people, right? They have done this a lot of times. So they will clearly come to know when you're lying or when you're trying to cover up. So whatever you write on your resume, make sure you can answer those questions if you are asked about them very clearly and thoroughly. So nothing, I wouldn't say that, you should do a particular project to get into any particular company. Just do what you are interested in and do it sincerely. And subjects. What really helped me was to prepare subjects for the technical interview according to the field the company is in and according to the job that you have applied for. Like, every company gives you a job title and a job description below it. So go through the job description, and if you think it is okay, this is more operations and manufacturing based, so brush up subjects like manufacturing processes, MQC, industrial engineering, operations, and all that, production. If it is a heavily design-based job description, then you should know all mechanical system design, SOM, TOM, everything related to designing. If it is in refrigeration and conditioning, then heat transfer, thermodynamics, turbo machinery, and all that. So be very specific, because at the end of the day, they want to recruit you for the field that they are working in. And then basics of everything you should know. Like in mechanical, agar tumko FBD nikalne bola, you should be able to draw that, or basic isometric views, top view, front view, side view. As a mechanical engineer, you should know the basic. These are like ABCDs. So that you should know for every subject, but before the interview, you should prepare very company specifically.
Okay, then I guess it's a wrap for today. Thank you so much, Sakshi, for coming in and sharing your experience. I hope the juniors watching also, find it helpful and help them achieve the same feat as you. So
Thank you so much, both of y'all. It was a really nice experience. I hope I could answer all your questions well.
Yeah. So with that, it's a wrap. So guys, if you're still watching, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Even Sakshi's YouTube channel link will be in the description box below. So don't forget to check out her channel as well and check out her vlogs. And yeah, with that, we'll take a leave. We'll be back next week with another placement interview experience segment for you. Till then, take care and prepare well.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.